Hi, today is January 14th. This is a little video update, even though I'm not 100%. I thought let's try to return to the normal practice. If my numbers are correct, we have had 14 positive COVID cases since we've returned from Christmas break. That's in line with what the state of Arkansas is seeing with this contagious variant. I do want to reassure you it's not all in one class, it's not all in one hallway, it's not all in one group. In fact, it's pretty evenly split between students and staff. I do applaud our community because when someone is feeling sick, you're keeping your children at home, or our staff are staying at home so as not to spread the illness. We do still have our safety measures in place, such as the mask mandate, air filters in the classrooms, eating lunch outdoors when possible, when it's not freezing. And it was just one of those times where more staff than normal became positive or had to wait for their test, that we just didn't have the manpower to cover all of our classes. So 8th grade was virtual all week. 4th grade was virtual pretty much all week. 5th grade went virtual today. Miss Williams' 3rd grade went virtual today. It does not mean that there are outbreaks in those classrooms. It just meant we didn't have staff to cover. We do prayerfully believe that Tuesday is a return to quote-unquote normal. Remember, Monday is Martin Luther King holiday, so we have a 3-day weekend where people who are sick can continue to feel better. We can give 3 more days to see if anybody else becomes positive. And then on Tuesday, we're inviting everyone who is eligible to return to in-person instruction. If you have not been released from quarantine, if you are still in your first 5 days of the virus, you can't come back, but everybody else is eligible to be back in class on Tuesday. We, even if we do still have some staff out, those of us like myself are able to come back. We'll be able to cover those classes if the teacher is out. Some students should be taking their report cards home today. Some students aren't going to be able to get their report cards until Tuesday. Totally depends on which class you're in, whether you're virtual, whether you're in school, whether everything was ready to go for that report card. So parents, we ask for your patience. If it's not today, the report card will come home on Tuesday. We also want to give each other some grace. You might see a report card grade that concerns you and want to reach out to your child's teacher, and that's very normal. Please be patient. Please give them some time, especially if that teacher has been out for a while. We also want to remind you that the grades on the report card do not come from anything the students have done this week. So you can't say, oh, well, they got a D. It must be because they were virtual all week this week. That's not true. All the report card grades come from everything that was done from mid-October to mid-December. Everything we're doing now is going to be for quarter 3. So these two things are different. We do have one extra safety mitigation that we will start implementing. It'll totally be optional and it will require parental consent. But it is a weekly preventative testing program for COVID. It's paid for by the state of Arkansas. We have a school nurse on Fridays. She would have a supply of tests. Students whose parents consented to letting them be tested on Fridays would report to the library, take a nasal swab, be tested. Nurse Carla would send those off to the lab, and before Monday, you would have a result that says negative or positive. This is not the kind of test you do when you are feeling sick and you think, oh, I bet I have COVID. I need to go take a test. It's not that. We're not going to use it in that way. It's a weekly, routine, preventative test because sometimes you are getting sick and don't know it. So you could swab on Friday, test. That test goes out. You, a parent in the school, would get information back by Sunday It says, you're good to go, you're negative, or, oh, you're positive. And that would just help us as a community to stay safer. We would know if someone was positive definitively, and we could ask them to stay at home for a week. Plus, it would give you a peace of mind to know, yes, I'm negative. Like, I had this little bit of a scratchy throat, but the test says I'm negative, so I know that's just allergies and not COVID. So, I'm working on getting us signed up for that. More information will come out next week that will allow you to consent to that if you so choose. It's not going to be perfect. Not everybody's going to consent, but it's one more tool, one more layer of safety that we can all use to keep ourselves healthy and well. I just thank everybody. I thank our teachers. I thank you, our parents, and our students for understanding that there had to be some changes to plan this week. Our goal is still to stay as fully open as possible at all times, and we're sticking to that goal. When we have the manpower to do it, I promise we're doing it. Let's just continue to pray for each other, to pray for the end of this pandemic, to pray for health and well-being for everybody. Have a great 3-day weekend. I hope everybody stays safe and well.